everybody, I'm Tom and you are watching me play Vampyr. Last time we got to Whitechapel, it's been a while for you guys. Not super long for me, I last played about a week ago. But for you guys it's been about a month since the last episode. Let's see. Just because of the way I do my uploading schedule. But today what I want to do is talk to everybody in Whitechapel that I can talk to. Because this seems like a new... how would you put it? Like safe zone, I suppose? Similar to the hospital. That one took some time anyway. But it allows me to talk more, so I can't complain too much, I suppose. I do love the sound of my own voice, of course. Alright, so this was the safe house that we found. And I think I wanted to go this way? There's a blood trail there that I kind of want to follow, but I'm not going to. I'm going to come up here instead. Because I want to talk to some people. This lady here sounds like she's a snake oil salesman.
Can be the answer to all your problems, as long as you have the money.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Johnathan Reid, by the way. Dr. Johnathan Reid.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
That was not the response I was expecting. I'll be perfectly honest.
You look ill, Miss Swanborough. I wonder if your concoction will do the trick.
I'm perfectly fine, thanks to my miraculous elixir. You, on the other hand, look pale and tired, Doctor.
Interesting that I could just do that medical checkup straight up. That's cool. I did it accidentally. For starters, she's a trader.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine
here we
you're
go.
selling.
I assume she just sells Swanborough cordial. She doesn't actually. She has actual ingredients. So maybe she is actually a doctor. But it strikes me that when you're selling cordial on the side street for 35 shillings, which is pretty damn expensive, really, maybe... I mean, maybe it's actually helpful. Who knows? I'm gonna buy it and find out. With a Swanborough cordial with a list of ingredients printed in Latin. This item can be recycled for components. Yeah, this definitely sounds like bullshit, but... I'm going to talk to her, though.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Seems appropriate.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
There's some brilliant irony here. And I think it's fully aware of its own irony.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Interesting.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Interesting. You got a very exploitative person complaining about someone else being exploitative. Which is... It either means that one, she's a hypocrite, or two, he's being over-proportionally exploitative. Nothing there. So I've done everything with her. Nothing.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
I want to see if I can actually... I won't do it now, but I'll do it later. Is that cordial? I want to see whether or not I can actually take it to a bench and examine it and see what's actually in it.
Stealing drugs from the sick and suffering.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
That's Benjamin.
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reid.
I can't cure migraine, unfortunately. I think I've already exhausted these dialogues completely. Tell me about the war, it's a new one.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
That's really, really sad, but probably fairly common. Benjamin needs medication since he came back from the front. So what it sounds like to me is that he has an opioid addiction that came from the fact that they were at war and they needed soldiers, so he was shell-shocked, so he's got problems with a lot of his nerves and probably his head as well, I would say. But because they needed soldiers, they just chuck him on a bunch of painkillers and then send him back out to the front. But what that has done is got him addicted to painkillers. It's very sad, but I understand why it happens.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
That's very true. You shouldn't be drinking with those pills either, it's worth noting, but... So I want to come back up here. This is the way I came in, I think. But it's just got him who I'll talk to now. I think I already...
Boy.
I'm not your boy, alright? Now piss off.
I'm not your boy, alright? Now piss off. I need to get better at a Cockney accent. I'm not particularly good at them.
Man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
Not me.
Not me.
Alright. So to continue my exploration around this area, see if I can find some more people. I guess what I can do is this, right? Which will show me blood, which will allow me to see people that I can interact with. So far I only see rats and a dead person. Cigarette case and a ring. So that's the way it wants me to go. Where am I now? I'm heading towards West End. Actually, okay. God damn it. I want to get rid of... How do you remove markers there? F. F is how you remove markers. Okay. How do I move around this map? I can't really. I can Q and E to zoom. How do I pan the map? Oh, I have to use the... I have to edge screen it. I really wish you could use WASD to move around this map. But if we look here... maybe not. I was looking at these like color codings. This is like red. This is like grey. So I was thinking maybe the grey area is like safe, but Pembroke Hospital is like bright red. And that's like the safest place that I've been so far. So that's not a good idea. But I want to explore around here just so I get a general lay of the land, because if I know where everything is... That's rain on a tin roof is what that is. If I know where everything is around this area, then it helps me a lot with, Looks like I can get in there because I can actually see in the building. But it helps me a lot when I'm doing these episodes in the future because I'll know which way to go to get everywhere. I like getting a lay of the land, as it were. So she said there was someone who... Yes. She said there was a florist around here that was worth talking to. Apparently.
Perhaps I should look into it.
Hello. How's it going, mate?
Good evening, sir. Do you remember...
I saved him.
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reid from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
I mean, that's fair enough. He has a cold, which I can treat.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Clearly Johnathan doesn't want to help him. But I'm gonna heal everyone I can.
Is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Well, if you want to pay me for it, go ahead.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Back alley clinic full of sick foreigners, you say?
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, if you're fine, there's no reason you shouldn't be happy, per se. I mean, he's not particularly empathetic to all the people that he's owning all these slumlords. Like, he's clearly a slumlord, like, he owns all these buildings. And all his tenants, he's clearly charging the shit out of them, but, you know.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reid, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
If I were entering into the world of street medicine, it would be on my terms and without such dubious associates as yourself, Mr. Bates.
So it's a no, then. That's too bad. The Reid tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamborous shit.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
I mean, someone who's, like, clearly he's lived in Whitechapel a very long time because of his accent. Whitechapel has historically, and all the way up until pretty much now, is kind of a shithole. I mean, it's a lot better now than it was back when, like, there were, like, mobsters running everything. Back up until, like, even what, like the 80s? Maybe even the 90s? Anyway. It's... If you lived violence your whole life, I could see why you were not surprised when that starts spreading out to the rest of London, because you're just like, well, it's always been like that here. It's the same kind of thing, like, for an American substitute, you could say, like, Chicago, I suppose. Same kind of deal. There's a lot of gang violence and a lot of just street violence in general. So then when you get other places in America that are getting street violence and everyone's like, oh, look at all this violence, people from Chicago are like, well, it's just violence. It's always been like that.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
I mean, that is repellent, but at the same time, if people want to do prostitution to pay for things, I mean, clearly taking advantage of people, but at the same time, what's he going to do otherwise? Just make them homeless? I realize I'm sounding pretty horrible at the moment, but I'm a capitalist at heart. Here you go. Capitalism is making money by renting squalid flats to Whitechapel migrants. Yep. I wouldn't say it's a necessary evil. I think the proper thing to do would just not give them housing, but, you know, whatever.
You obviously place yourself above the misery of Whitechapel, but you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Yeah, I don't think he's evil, I just think he's an asshole. I think I already asked this, right?
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you.
That was weird dialogue problems there, but okay.
I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
I don't believe even you deserve such a cruel fate, though you have tested my patience beyond its limit.
Glad to hear. Nice to know there's another civilized individual in these parts. Not like those bloody savages.
See, here's the thing. He's a racist piece of shit. Which, in the early 1700s, there's probably a lot of racist pieces of shit. Not that surprising. But, like, his actual actions... Like, you can't necessarily fault him for it. Like, he needs to make money. And there's no reason that he shouldn't be... Like, maybe he's charging exorbitant amounts of money. Maybe it's, like, so ludicrous that... Like, he's taking advantage of people, but... Like, I can't just expect him to give charity to people. I can't expect that of other people.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse.
Dorothy?
There you go.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Yeah, okay. So he pretty much straight up told us that anyway. I can now get 1,000 experience for murdering him, though. I don't think I will, though. There we go. Cadogan sees Dorothy Crane's dispensary as a fine thing, since she keeps his tenants in good health. Alright, so I now asked everything I could ask, I think? Yep.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
So, like, he's a piece of shit, but at the same time, I can't necessarily condemn him for charging people to live in the flats that he owns. Like, you can't expect people to just work for... Is that person dead? Yes. He's just a dead man. There's some shitty places to live right here. But as I was saying, sorry, I sort of cut myself off. I do that quite a lot in this game, because I notice things as I'm walking around when I'm talking. But you can't expect him to just give away charity. Like, it would be a nice thing to do, but at the same time, you can't, like, force people to be charitable. Prevent diseases. Careless spitting, sneezing, coughing. Spread influenza. Spread by droplets sprayed from nose and throat. Do not cough in public.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Presumably that was put up by Dorothy Crane. Alright, so we're coming up on about time. I'm probably going to keep these episodes a bit shorter, like around about between 20 minutes and half an hour. I'm going to start this.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Interesting.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Well, that got me two names. Luckily, they decided to talk in the doorway. Darius
I must talk to
Petrusco.
that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
So there's two people at a church here. I kind of want to go up to the left and check out this area, and up here, and then I'll go to the church. But I want to go left first. This... Who are you? Oh, you're the asshole. Yeah, this is the way I want to go. Ah, there's Pre-Win down here. Oh, the good old T-pose. I fucking love it. I want to see if I can sneak past this guy.
I'll kill you!
No is the answer. Ow. Don't shoot me. There we go. My lock-on wasn't working for some reason.
Fucking beasts! Die, Leech!
Simple enough. Now I can get this chest. Box of pills. Nothing in this door. Invisibility is awesome. We have Mr. T-Pose over here. There's another guy over there. So there's 3 guys at least. Alright. Let's keep going.
Hey! Don't come no closer!
Alright. Or maybe I will. He just T-posed again. How do you know I'm a leech? That's what really intrigues me.
Shit! You right, stay alive!
Ow. He did some damage. He, like, hit me with, like, silver or something? I don't know if silver is powerful against vampires. But he threw, like, some kind of powder on me and then... Anyway, they're dead. Those guys were a lot lower level than the guys that I had been fighting up to that point. So clearly I was supposed to come to Whitechapel earlier. Which makes sense, it was main story progression, and I've done a bunch of side quests. Influenza. Frequently complicated with pneumonia. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. To prevent any case of Spanish flu, stay at home. Okay. I've already read the other one. What it was saying there was that pneumonia makes it worse. A ring and a cigarette case.
It's locked, all right.
Opens from the other side. Very, very Dark Souls. Quarantine. Quarantine. Signs talking about the quarantine. Alright. So I've now gone up to that section. I seems to have like fully explored this area that I wanted to explore, which is nice. So now we just have to head back up and then to the left. And that should take me towards the church. There's a sign talking about the curfew. I like that the signs you can actually like read without going into them, so you can tell whether you've read them before. Some skull. At least 2 skull. Dazzled skull. Slightly higher level, I suppose, but... Well, that was easy. It's actually really dark here. Once again. Once again, it unlocked me on. I don't particularly like the lock-on in this game. That's something I will say. They weren't particularly difficult to kill though, so that's something. All these guys have a cigarette case and a ring. It's like the third guy I've looted that's had a cigarette case and a ring. Some more skull over there. Let me look at my map. So first thing, I want to run up this way because there's apparently... Is this... Yeah. Large beast. I mean, I'll try and kill it. I keep running out of stamina, which is not a good idea. Blood does very little on these guys. Kill it. There's another one in there. Interesting. Interesting. They're currently labelled as large beast. And I don't know... Anyway, I'm coming up to time, so I think what I'm gonna do... is kill these guys. Simple enough. So, up in there is where this beast was. I'm not going to go there yet. You know what, maybe I am. It's actually a way through into that area, but I can actually walk around that area if I really want. Ooh. I used hatchet. Cool. It's a melee weapon. I guess you can come out this way. If you drop down there, you get attacked by this one here that I killed. Okay. So that's a trap there. Alright, I'm actually going to end it here. Next episode, we'll continue on to the church and see what we can find there, but that's going to be it for now, so thanks for watching, I shall see you next time. Bye!